Welcome to Wanderlust Max. We are here at the Tillamook coast in Oregon to explore Twin Rocks, Cape Meares, and to circumnavigate the Bayocean Peninsula, location of the former townsite of Bayocean, sometimes known as the town that fell into the sea. I'm staying at Barview Jetty Campground, located in the unincorporated town of Barview, in between Garibaldi and Rockaway Beach on the northern Oregon coast. Someone said, "Hey, you just go out camping so you can eat junk food in the outside." I'm like, what? It's not junk food. I got an apple, bananas, cheese, everything, bagels. After setting up camp, I decided to climb Sand Hill to get an overview of the landscape and to imagine the hike I was to undergo this evening and the next day. The weather can change quickly on the Oregon coast. Not 1 hour earlier, there had been a torrential downpour, but it was clearing up nicely in time for the evening. I made my way down to Barview Jetty Park for a walk along the northern jetty on my way to the beach. Offshore, from the 7 miles of beach on Rockaway Beach, are two enormous 100-foot-high rocks made of 20 to 30 million-year-old sandstone, which over time was forced up into a ridge of sandstone. As time and the ocean wore away at the ridge, it left the harder pieces behind in the form of twin rocks. After a peaceful night in the campground, I made my way around Tillamook Bay towards the Bayocean Peninsula, also known as Tillamook Spit. The first stretch of the hike takes us along Tillamook Bay, which is nice and peaceful. After about 2 or 3 miles, I began seeing a lot of interesting things along the trail. This rock clearly was part of the jetty construction at one point. Not sure why it ended up in this location. So we're about 3 miles into the hike at a location known as Crab Harbor. The Tillamook Bay is also an estuary, where the fresh water of a river and the salt water of the ocean meet. Teeming with life, these estuaries are nurseries to many fish species and some of the richest habitats on the planet. I was surprised to find what appeared to be a restroom at the end of this peninsula, so I decided to check it out.
Not very well maintained.
At least the men's wasn't. As for the women's?
Not too bad.
Throughout my walk, I came across several campsites. Most had old clothes, tarps, or other trash lying around. This one appeared to be occupied recently. Got a can of beans, bag of sugar, a bag of fishing gear.
Jeez.
And of course, some candles. Someone had been whittling that piece of wood, doing some crabbing, and they lost their glasses. The walk had been relatively peaceful and quiet until this point, but as I came around towards the ocean, I heard a distant roar of waves cutting into the bay. Given the unstable nature of the land I was walking upon, I wasn't surprised to come across
A sinkhole.
although I don't think I've ever seen one before. In 1952, heavy seas breached the spit, creating a mile-wide blowout, which turned the town of Bayocean into an island. I was half expecting someone to yell out,
Get away from that sinkhole, son!
Having made my way past two nefarious-looking individuals who had started a fire and were building a fort of some sort, I came to the South Jetty, took in the scenery, looking south towards Cape Meares. I climbed up on the jetty and looked north, toward Barview, where I had camped the night before. You can see the Coast Guard tower there in the distance. The last part of my walk takes me along the beach. I had plenty of time to admire the scenery. Western sandpipers are a common sight along the Oregon coast this time of year. They're making their way south, all the way from Alaska. The turkey vulture, known locally as a buzzard, is a common sight spring through fall throughout the state of Oregon, often seen flying over open fields and along highways as they search for carrion, their main source of food. I arrived at the former townsite of Bayocean, the town that fell into the sea. It was known as the playground of millionaires or the queen of resorts. Little remains to this day other than a few commemorative posts. World War I interrupted the construction of the second jetty, and with only one jetty, it changed the current of the ocean so that it began to wear away the sand on which the whole town rested, which eventually led to the demise of Bayocean. The last structure was destroyed in 1971. Just a few miles south of the former townsite of Bayocean is Cape Meares, a lava delta where Columbia River basalt flows filled a canyon that had been eroded into the coastal hills. Thank you for watching Wanderlust Max. Auf Wiedersehen.